And here we go.
In 5, 4, 3.
Call to me, lands far away.
Elves have forests to protect.
We need to build a wall.
Dwarfs their mines. Men their fields of grain. But we Harfoots have each other.
For I must now wander this wandering day.
We're safe.
You have fought long enough, Galadriel.
No.
Put up your sword.
The enemy is still out there. The question now is where?
It is over.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all peoples.
Everyone!
I am sorry, but their time has come.
The past is with us all. The past is dead. We either move forward or we die with it.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
Away I must wander this wandering day.
To him finally being lionized in the prime and his prime. Fuck.
Do it!
Shit.
Just do it! Don't let your dreams change. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Luke went from being... Oh, no. Welcome, Slayer Nation. I have some great news for you today. I hope you're all doing great. Nope, that didn't work. One more.
You have failed me for the last time.
Welcome, Slayer Nation. I hope...
If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.
That is eating away at what you love in order for it to shine. And one man's vision is... Sometimes you don't have to make things better for them to be great again. You merely have to... Okay. Hollywood continues to slow boil the culture and crazy. Well, right now, Spider-Man actor Andrew Garfield has stepped up and he's fighting motherfucker.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
And unbearded dwarves, but Prime didn't stop there. They stapled in intersectionality, individuality, biddiga-dig-bee, biddiga-dig-boo.
So it begins.
At my signal, unleash hell.
and gentlemen, George the Giant Slayer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unchained. It's July 2nd, 2025. Hey, Larry, how are you doing? Hail to everyone. What a great day. What a great week, you know. It's 1 week exactly for my birthday, and I think maybe to put on a birthday stream this Sunday, because the following Sunday on Slayer Nation, we're going to be joined by very special guest Brandon Straka. So it's going to be one hell of a ride, but how y'all doing? How you doing, Josh? I see you're in the house. We got Toxic Waltz, Trevor Lambert, Anthony Hale, Donna. God bless you, Donna, for being here. Always love to see you. And let's go. Hell yeah. We also have Eric K, King of the Mods. I think Lord Thoth is here as well. Or did they change his name again? Oh, yes, Lord Thoth is here. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. We also got Man of War 665, Neighbor of the Beast. You know, powerful, strong, great name. Plus, we have Tom from Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark joining us. Here he is. How you doing, Tom?
Peachy keen as a jelly bean, my friend. How you doing?
Good. You know, I was like, this is going to be a 10 out of 10 week because there's no Pedro news. And there wasn't.
You should know better.
Until someone made a video. Actually, it was Sydney Watson. Brilliant mind. Wonderful insight. She made a video.
Not enough.
I know. I watched it. And then I
haven't even seen this. I was talking about other shit.
Oh, no, don't tell me. Is there some other news today from Pedro?
Well, first of all, I mean, I'm at this point now where there has to be this active campaign to help his image. Because we've had no less than Robert Downey Jr., Spike Jonze, and Emma Stone come out and say that Pedro Pascal is just the bestest of the bestest. Even Emma says she'll fuck him. So that right there tells me they are trying to really, really help his image. And then I guess he was on some red carpet deal or something or other with some co-star, Sarah Paulson, feeling her up. But I guess the Sarah Paulson chick's a lesbian, so I don't know.
Well, the thing is that funny enough, and this tells you, you know, ancient Greek saying, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. He flew to London to go watch Rachel Zegler perform Evita.
Oh, and there was that too, yeah.
I was like, come on.
And that's where this comes from, yeah, the whole thing on the carpet, yeah.
Rachel Zegler. I'm working on a video on that, by the way. It's a lot of people are pissed in the London's West End about that because of the fact that some people paid up to $500 a ticket, right? Even though the theater is half empty, they're sitting there. And when the big number comes for Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, she exits stage left, a big jumbo screen comes down, and she heads out to a balcony to sing the song for the public on the street. So just think about that, Tom. You go, you save up your money, you're going to drop $500 on a romantic date night, going to dinner, and all of a sudden, in the middle of it, the chef decides to start feeding people who are peeing in a bush outside for free. Your same meal.
That's a good analogy, actually. I mean, think about it, because you're right. And I even seen somebody say something about, like, leave her alone. It's like, no, this is so stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it was so stupid that even when we first started reporting on it, I had to actually correct Andre, because he was under the assumption that this was just like a one-time thing for a promotional thing. I'm like, no. Nobody be saying it if that's what it was, you know, for like a Good Morning America or something like that. No, every single show I was like, she is out on that balcony and they stream it inside.
I know.
For those who paid the big bucks, like you just said, to see this performance live.
Yeah, and some of the tickets go for $500.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so instead, all you got to do is just wait around outside, and eventually you'll get to see the big performance. You don't need to pay the big bucks to see anything else. So what the hell's the difference at that point?
No. Hey, Nick the Greek, Yasu, me feel. No, it is. And the other thing is I didn't realize until I found this one video clip. She not only sings the song, she does the entire, Perón speech. When you sing of glory, she does this big thing. She's like,
it's the big centerpiece of the performance. Yeah.
The thing is there are two articles that people are actually passing out because of the heat. So they're all combined. They're like, what the hell's going on? And so they're sitting there going, okay. Some of them are filming it. I found one clip where you heard two people clapping. And then she does this encore. Now, I give her a lot of hell because she's a fraud to me. She's a fraud. Yeah, a lot of people say it's her youth. I think she's a fraud. She got, bigger shoes than her brain can handle. And so she does this encore, Tom, where she comes out on the stage and she starts quivering as people are clapping, shaking. Oh my! Hold on, let me get this. For my birthday, I'm getting another damn camera. That or a fucking video.
I hope so.
I hope so. I have to. I just can't take it anymore. So she starts this bit where she's quivering, like. I'm like, it kind of reminded me like she watched a bit of Sally Field's Oscar performance. Oh, you really like me? Except Sally Field was authentic. So talking about Pedro, the guy who likes to call himself Pee-Pee or Peds, as for Variety, like we covered Sunday, I found this. There is no amount of money in Hollywood which will change this man's image.
Can I just say one thing? That your nails, they bring out the color in your eyes. I'm not trying to flirt. I said on purpose.
I did that on purpose.
It really works. It's very, very good.
Of course he's not trying to flirt.
Let's see your nails.
You got the wrong parts.
They're very nice. Yeah, they're very beautiful. You're welcome. As a fan of your nails,
man,
I would like you to show them to me, please. Oh, come on, please. Your nails are awesome. So are yours. Great. It's just the best thing I ever saw. It's a Kingsman nail. Get a shot of that.
How are you guys doing?
I have never heard of what he said, the Kingsman nail. Come on, Tom, I gotta see your face, your reaction to this. Okay, yeah. I never heard of a Kingsman nail. How does this dude know the different types of nails there are?
Because he is gay. Gay as hell.
It's just, I know God's right. I know Lord thought it's just unbelievable. And it goes on.
Good.
How are you?
Oh, fantastic. I'm talking to you guys. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. No kidding. That's crazy. Cool.
It'd be great if he was
Thank
like
you
at
so
least
much.
noticing
I'm
their
not gonna
toes
lie,
or something, because then be like, oh, he's just a foot guy. That's all. No.
Never heard of a nail guy.
No, because there's not one.
Well, he's the first.
I'm for you.
Did
I did. I'm not lying. I literally.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
I mean, I'm not saying guys don't appreciate nice nails or whatever on a woman with them painted, but look, there's not like a fetish for it. I swear, if there is, it is so minuscule in comparison to some of the other weirder shit you could think that was out there, probably.
I feel like he's a closet furry or something.
He's definitely a closet lot of things. I mean, look, I've heard more than enough things from enough people, and it's like you sit there and you go, what is he waiting for?
It's 2025.
Why doesn't he just come out of the closet? And the only thing I could come up with is that I think he thinks it would hurt his image as far as a leading man. Which to me, I'm like, look, we live in the day and age where we don't give a shit anymore. But I guess I get where that's coming from. But what else could there be? Because he's got a trans sister he's always talking about. Like you just said, it's 2025. Unless he gets Me Too'd somehow, which he's not going to, because that's the number one thing I keep hearing back about this guy, is that the women love to work with him because he's quote unquote safe.
Safe, yeah. I heard.
And that is, and we all know as straight men what that word means.
Yeah, they never said that about Bill Murray.
Exactly.
They didn't. They never say that about Bill Murray. Damn. Hey, Verbal is here. Verbal.
Speaking of a man who's definitely not safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's it going, boys?
It's going great. I was sitting here clapping if there was no Pedro Pascal PP Peds news, and
Peds.
Then Tom reminded me, there was a little bit. So I was watching Sydney Watson's video earlier because I thought I was one of the only people who actually now, and it's never happened before, who completely loathes this man. I despise him. I want to make it my mission to run him out of Hollywood. So, but Sydney Watson feels the very same way because she made this great video. So I found a collection of clips because this last 2 weeks how they're pushing him on Variety and in Vanity Fair where they're saying this is masculinity for the new century. Pedro Pascal, known as PP. And so I've been playing this. He has a thing for nails.
Yeah, oh my God, look at this. Insane. So great. Literally, I was like, Pedro is gonna love this. Look at that. How did you know
Ding,
that?
ding, ding. He's one of the girls.
Who the fuck says ding, ding, ding like that? What the fuck was that?
Okay, look, here's the thing. Either he is gay or he's really playing the part of a gay man.
No, he's gay as fuck, Verbal. I mean, I got a pretty good gaydar, I'll be honest with you.
My question is he actually gay or is he just like a weasel who kind of pretends to be gay to like finesse women?
No, I think he really is.
Yeah.
There's enough in the water there where he comes from. Look, he's got a trans sister, a fucked up dad. Fucking, he's been in Hollywood for how many years?
And he knows a Kensington.
He's been feeding into this shit for
he has
long.
no problem playing gay scenes. I mean, as we saw in Game of Thrones. I mean, he was, he was all over men and had no problem with it. So,
But let me ask you something. Tom doesn't know what this is. I didn't know what the hell it was. In the scene earlier, he says, "Oh my!" to this one woman. That's a Kensington nail job. I never knew nails.
He knows what
had a
all
job.
these fucking nail jobs are.
I never knew that nails had like specific names to them. Did you?
I mean, I know only a little because obviously I live here in Hollywood, and women talk. So I know a little bit about that stuff, but dude,
that doesn't count if you're just overhearing shit, dude.
Yeah, not nearly on the level that Pedro Pascal knows it. Apparently.
Hey, Steel Leg of History, be blessed. Glad to see you here. And this to Phobos. So I just want to finish this up because it just gets kind of better.
Really?
I love.
Wow.
I love a manicure, even though I don't do mine ever.
We try our best. We try our best. I hope we got that on camera.
They bring out the color in your eyes.
Watch, here it is.
Can I just say one thing?
This is making me uncomfortable.
Bring out the color in your eyes. I'm not trying to flirt. It's said on purpose.
I did that on purpose.
It
How
really
did I
works.
know?
It's very, very good.
It's 'cause I
It's a
bought it.
great color. Let's see your nails first.
Okay.
No straight man makes a woman make that face, by the way.
Nah, it's just no way. Verbal, have you ever heard of a nail fetish?
I think he stepped away. Oh no, he's back.
I have not.
Neither have I, because we were saying foot, butt, breast, nail.
Okay, so there's this. Okay, maybe there is a kink, right? Because I've noticed there's a lot of women I know, a lot of chicks who work in porn actually. They're doing the long, sharp nail things, like the Cynthia Erivo kind of thing, and from what I've gathered from them, it's not just a fashion thing; it's a sex thing. So I mean, there might be a kink out there about long nails,
but they look.
I don't know too many men, or any men for that matter, with that kind of kink.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But here's the thing: I don't get a lot of kinks, right? And maybe that's why they're kinks. But apparently, it has something to do with the pain.
How could you do that sexually? That would be painful. You got like, what's her face is like Freddy Krueger, Cynthia Erivo. I mean, that's
I don't know. Some guys like to live dangerously. You know, I don't know.
Talk about taking out an eye. It used to be a Red Ryder BB gun. Yeah,
There used to be women who would always like women. I know some women like to do the whole scratching of the back thing, but like most men just like tolerate that. It's not like they actually like it.
Right. It comes with the job, right?
It's like, I don't know one guy who's like, I'm so glad she scratched the fuck up out my back. You know,
no, I mean, you just take it for what it is. It's like, okay.
It's like, damn, I did a good job. She scratched the fuck up out my back.
She's really into
and I'm regretting it, but hey.
Speaking of kinks, the Kinkmeister himself, his trial seemed to finish today in a split verdict.
Baby oil was flown everywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was. In a split verdict, Sean Diddy Combs, a very good friend of our very own Verbal Riot, was found guilty of 2 counts. Not guilty of sex trafficking, racketeering, but he was found guilty of what? Let's find out. I was waiting to discover it. He was found guilty.
In all fairness, though, it's very hard to prove racketeering, man. Like, that's not an easy thing to
That's like the mob stuff. That's kind of like what the Giuliani did to the mob, the RICO stuff. You know, they all conspired. He says Combs should be released on appropriate conditions as soon as today, given that he was acquitted of the most serious charges against him. Prosecutor, wait, where the fuck you going? Prosecutor Maureen Comey flat out rejected this idea, stating that the government is going to seek incarceration for Combs, which she said could be up for 20 years. Not going to happen. Verbal and I were talking about this earlier. You think he's going to get 20 years?
No.
Fuck no.
Oh, God, look, it's George, like I told you earlier, man. Sometimes, every now and then, a sacrifice has to be made, right? We talked about that with Harvey Weinstein. You know, like some people are untouchable until the powers that be decide that we need a sacrificial cow, right? Harvey Weinstein was that sacrifice. Diddy, maybe Diddy has too much dirt on people that he couldn't be the sacrifice, right? They'll find another. But again, is anyone surprised he walked? Really?
No, the whole thing smells weird to me because first of all, when this first happened, we were told there was going to be all sorts of celebrities involved and named, and there really wasn't. There was accusations of underage girls that, I mean, I guess I don't know if that's still part of possible charges or something else that he's facing or not.
Prince Harry too. I didn't mean to interrupt. Prince Harry was, they said was going to be involved as well.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as we heard that, and then all of a sudden, nothing. So this whole thing feels kind of like it was almost like a hindered trial to begin with. I don't know how else to put it. And then with all the stuff I was hearing about the jury, it kind of felt like the OJ trial all over again, where the jury didn't quite understand not so much the evidence in this case, like with OJ, but exactly what their charges were supposed to be or what they were supposed to be charging him with. Because like racketeering and all that kind of shit, like I get it. It's a tough thing to kind of define, especially in the situation where, like, you know, you only have witnesses in a lot of these cases and not actual like solid proof. I don't know how else to put it, but like the whole thing kind of just smelled.
You mean hearsay?
Not even hearsay. It is at least firsthand accounts. Okay. Like again, my thing earlier today, I kind of flipped out on it. I'm going, you know, the shitty sad part about this whole fucking situation is if it was any one of us right here on this panel that had any amount of this evidence against them pulling this shit, there would be no doubt that we would already be in prison. Right? Like this trial would have been done, shut, over with in a matter of a week or two. Like the fact that it's fucking Puff Daddy, this is proof to America that racism, as you think you knew it, is dead. Because Puff Daddy got a fair fucking trial, and not only that, I think he got off very fucking light. In fact, he's only going to be lucky to do a few. I'll be surprised if he sits a year in prison. He'll probably get a purge sentence and all this other shit out of the deal, have to pay out a bunch of restitution, maybe do some fucking PA ads or whatever you call them, the public service announcement. Yeah, and that's it. I don't know. To me, this whole thing just kind of is like I really wish I had like the fly on the wall kind of thing with the whole trial, since we were kind of kept out of it, but it'd take forever for me to go through the transcripts. I tried keeping up with it. It was just too much to keep up with for somebody like me who has to keep up with all this stuff we have to on a daily basis. You almost have to you almost had to like make that the only thing you were doing. Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people said, because remember this dropped, what was it? It was a week and a half to 2 when they picked him up and charged him right after Biden stepped back and handed it over to Kamala. And they said, no, sorry. It was 2 weeks after Trump was shot at Butler, Pennsylvania. And they said they wanted to get it off the news. That was one conspiracy theory. Because immediately once Diddy got picked up, you notice they stopped talking about Trump on CNN, at least getting shot. But here's what he was charged with. Here's a breakdown of the 5 counts. Combs is facing racketeering conspiracy, maximum sentence of life in prison, sex trafficking by force. Count 4, sex trafficking by force, fraud. Okay, what did he actually get? After 13 hours of deliberation, to find Combs guilty of racketeering, jurors needed to find the existence of a criminal enterprise and that the organization committed at least 2 of the offenses. Jurors announced a partial verdict late Tuesday, so they were deadlocked on the racketeering charge, but Judge Subramanian instructed them to keep working. Combs once
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The other side of this is you can say, well, at least his career's over. But I'm like, I don't know, not so fast, because isn't a whole rapper's image about bitches and hoes and drugs and fucking the government and fuck cops and shit? It's like, this just feeds into that image, if you ask me. I don't know. I mean,
right. I just want to know what the hell he actually was found guilty on, and I cannot seem to find it. Anybody?
I think not even the sex trafficking. I don't think. I think it was just the assault charges. I guess not even the word the word we don't want to say on here.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was,
and
I don't even know what it was exactly, and I have to look it up again. It was just kind of like, really, because they were saying yesterday he was probably going to get off light on this shit.
The thing is you know what I don't think he will survive is the lawsuits coming, because I think 2 or 3 of the
he's got some civil suits.
Now that's where they're gonna get him is monetary, and he'll probably settle. It'd probably be easier for him to settle.
I love how Verbal has just been completely quiet on this whole thing.
Yeah, but
almost like he's been to a Diddy party with Leo.
I found that picture. I found a mysterious picture, which is on X, of Leo in a towel with a bunch of men around him in a house.
Was Verbal one of them?
Well, it wasn't like that at all.
That's not the way Verbal remembers it anyway.
Anyway, there
was no towel when Verbal was there.
No.
I'm kidding.
Man, I'm not saying yay or nay. Like, maybe there's some people out there who are happy Diddy's, was proven, well, not guilty. He's not innocent.
Yeah.
Maybe there are some people out there who are okay with that.
That's probably the best way to put it, Verbal. Yeah.
Because look, you know what? My thing is this, man. Okay, as long as there were no children involved, and these were all grown-ass adults,
right,
doing weird shit, right, and there's no major crime happening here, I don't care, man. All the weird Diddy stories, if they're between consenting adults,
I get
at
you.
the end of the day, right, it's like, who really gives a fuck, right?
Nobody
now,
does.
if there were kids involved, I'd be screaming for his head, like,
Yeah.
no, they need to burn that motherfucker, right? But these are all freaky ass adults doing shit. So,
but you remember in the beginning they were saying how it was all forced. People were knocked out.
These gangster rappers that were forced to take it in the ass. Is that what they're
that's
saying?
what they were saying. They were drugged and passed out.
Man. Like,
I believe you. I know what you're saying. They're not going to admit, like, you had one of them what was the story? It was in page 6. One of them was like, I woke up and my ass hurt and I knew. It's like,
that is some bullshit, man. I'm sorry. You're a grown ass man. It's nah.
I know. It's crazy. Let's get some super chats here.
Now, the fact that Diddy was found not guilty on those bigger charges, that's the law, right? I mean, he had his lawyer, they had their lawyer, and their lawyer lost. So, I mean, it is what it is.
It is. Yeah. Eric K for $5. I bet if Robert Downey Jr. is asked what part of Iron Shark he likes the best, he says all the parts. I bet he never watched 1 minute of it. I agree. We're going to talk about Iron Hole for 2 minutes when we're done with this, because I can't stand it. Graph Web for $2 in the name of all that is holy. Cancel Disney Plus. Yes, I love you. And all of these super chats, they're going to a nice birthday party for me. Thank you. They keep the lights on, but I need to buy a new camera, so I appreciate it. It's really touching. Nick LeGreek for $2. My kink, she brings me a beer and a sandwich to bed. Straightforward. Telling you like it is. I like it. Yes, Nico. And Eric A for $5. Puff Diddy and Jennifer Lopez shot up a club, including an innocent girl. That is right. I completely forgot about that. And faced no jail. No surprise. You remember that was in New York, wasn't it? That was in New York.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that now. But outside of the jail today, Diddy wasn't the only one who was partying. He had some supporters show up to give him some love, and they went the full Diddy, baby oil and all.
Lube love.
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
Whoop. Not going to show that part.
But you won, Verbal. I know, I'm kidding.
That was so cringe, man.
It definitely was.
But you know what, though? I mean, I don't know. I guess at this point, like, we're living in a simulation, dude.
I'm beginning to believe that
this isn't real life.
Well, I hope this is a point where we can kind of separate the race thing from it, because that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. Is like OJ was definitely like a race thing when it boiled down to it.
Right.
Oh yeah,
this was
nothing
not.
about Diddy was a race thing.
Exactly. So at this point, like people acting like that, acting like fools, like don't judge an entire race on that. Like, don't.
Well, here's dude, you know what's crazy? Now that you bring that up, though, Tom. Like, I mean, there is okay, and I've made videos about this where I've said this many times where, black folks just have to pick and choose, man. It's like, look, guys, I get it. You got your heroes out there. You got your, I won't even say heroes, but people you really like, right?
Right.
You got your R. Kellys. You got your, whatever, your Bill Cosbys. Okay, yeah, these are successful black men. You want to give them their props as that. You enjoy their stuff. I understand that. But when they do some bullshit, you gotta call it out, man. You can't keep protecting these people, man. The thing with R. Kelly is people knew he was doing that shit back in the 90s, man. And I'm talking like the early 90s, right?
But do you think they knew that
now to convict R. Kelly?
But do you think they knew that?
Yeah, that everyone knew. That was the ongoing rumor.
That's the
since
thing.
91.
Yeah, is people not only have to facilitate this, enough people have to keep it quiet on top of it all. So that means there's so many, and that's where it's like there's so many conspirators involved with all this shit. Whether they wanted to be or not, they still didn't speak the fuck up. Right. Like,
but
that's
my problem
the
is,
thing.
it's not even so much with that. It's with the black folks who support these people after knowing the bullshit, right? It's like, I get it. He's successful. He's black. And, you want to lift people like that up. But not when they're doing dirty shit.
No, of course not. It's like Carmelo Anthony. You heard that his family complained that they need more money because he asked for a court-appointed attorney.
Why is he not in jail?
Because they let him out on bond. They let him out on bond. The Texas judge let him out on a bond. Now she reduced from $1 million to $250,000. But the thing is remember they raised almost $600,000 on that give, send, go.
See, I'm surprised that this is happening in Texas, man. Like,
yeah, but he just got a jury indicted him a week ago.
Yeah, I guess
murder one, the big one. Murder one. That means premeditated. Did. There's no.
Yeah, because there's no proof that it was self-defense. There's no proof.
Yeah, and they're letting him graduate too, which is kind of odd because they expelled him, then brought him back, and I was like, okay, well,
that's another one that I think that's more racial thing, and maybe just maybe that'll actually kind of bring it.
He's going to be in jail. Cool, you graduated now for 50 years.
That's just a bunch of show shit at the end of the day. Did he earn it? Yeah, probably. So in that case, give him his goddamn diploma. That's not the problem here.
He should be able to walk the stage, though.
That is a problem. Yeah, that is a problem.
So I found it. This is what Diddy was found guilty of: transportation to engage in prostitution. Didn't heard of that? Okay. Guilty count 5, transportation to engage. So they're saying he hired hookers and found hookers. That's what they found him guilty on.
Okay, that's called solicitation. So what's the average jail time for that?
Isn't it just a fine in LA and in New York?
A lot of that stuff,
I don't know anybody who goes to jail for picking up hookers out here.
Like I just said, the things that he was found guilty of are like, pfft. And at the end of the day, a lot of this is not going to hurt his image in comparison to a lot of other folks. It's not like he's Tom Cruise. Now, if this was Tom Cruise, it'd be a totally different scenario.
Well, yeah, because Tom Cruise probably doesn't have a lot of dirt on like the kind of people that Diddy has.
Well, that's not even what I mean, Verbal. Is like, I mean, I wasn't kidding earlier. I was only half joking when I said that this feeds into the whole rapper mentality. Like, most of his audience is not going to give a shit. And the other part is going to be like, damn, he is really gangster. He is a pimp. He's got all sorts of hoes. He just told the government to fuck off and beat him, and all that kind of shit.
Call him gangster, man, after they found all those dildos at his house.
No. Well, that's a problem.
There's no way.
But you also got Kanye going out there telling everybody he's sucking his cousin's dick. So who knows?
Yeah, no one calls Kanye gangster either, right?
No.
Well,
not anymore.
Not anymore. That's true. You're right. That's the one thing that probably will hurt his image more than any of this else. You're right. That I will give you, Verbal, is the whole dildo fucking dudes thing is going to hurt his image more than anything.
Well, dude, there's no coming back from that. I mean, it really isn't.
No.
Well, there is with a certain audience, but not the one he's used to.
Yeah, I don't think he's recovering from that one.
All of a sudden, like Diddy's vodka bottles are going to have like a rainbow flag at the bottom of it.
You never know. He might feed into this shit. Yeah, I'm gay. I found out the hard way.
I found out in jail. Don't drop the bar.
He
writes a whole album
I'm
about
black
it.
and gay.
Yeah. Talking about gay. Y'all remember this? We covered it a few months ago.
Oh God.
Yes, of course. So is it true that they only sold like 67 cars?
Something like that, yeah.
I have the report.
And their stock has like totally tanked, yeah.
Can you imagine if Kamala Harris would have won? Because understand, guys, they did all this shit with the assumption that Kamala Harris was going to win this, right? Or Joe Biden at the time. They did all this shit, and they had all this stuff in the pipe, assuming that they had it locked, right? All these companies are regretting it now. They're all regretting it.
Big time. No one bigger than Jaguar. Sold just 49 cars in April 2025.
Okay, but my question is, how many Jaguars are sold usually? Like in a normal year?
Well, let's find out. Let's find out.
Because Jaguar is not even in LA, I don't see a lot of Jaguars.
I mean, they were always, yes, I agree with you. They were always kind of this prestigious kind of thing where, yeah, but I imagine they sold at least in the thousands, if not maybe even tens of thousands before compared to now. That I imagine. Because they kind of, they were aimed towards the yuppie / upper class male.
Right. So they were always super expensive.
$1,100 a month in 2024.
There you go.
$1,100 a month?
Yep.
There you go. So a lot better than you thought, huh? I'm kind of surprised at that number too. I'd be more. If you said a year, I'd be like, all right, I can see that. Yeah.
I'm like, where are these cars at, man? Because I'll be in Beverly Hills and I don't see Jaguars.
Says by the end
New
of
York and shit, probably.
By the end of from AutoWeb and Design Rush, it says by the end of March 2024, the total sales for the month were 3,073. In April 2024, Jaguar reported 1,035 vehicles in North America. So it's about $1,100 a month. So yeah. From $1,100 a month average to, what was it, 49?
Something crazy like that.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, and Verbal's not wrong. I mean, it's even at those numbers, that's still a pretty elite number to be selling every month of cars in comparison to like Ford or, Chevy or somebody like that. But compared to what they're doing now, what they did to their business, because
come on, going from $1,100 a month to 49.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me back in the day when, and I think I told you the story when I went to interview at Playboy magazine to be part of the marketing team, and it reeks of that weird. You've had this customer base, right, for like decades, and you decide all of a sudden it's time to change it up, right? Like when Playboy tried to stop doing nudes and become just a men's magazine like GQ. I was like, what are you doing? Right? What are you doing?
What about when they put that dude in fishnets on the cover? You're like,
yeah, it'd be just as stupid as if tomorrow Burger King decided they were going all vegan.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's nutty.
Jaguar was meant to be sold. You know what? Jaguar is meant to sell a lifestyle, and not the one that we just saw in that commercial, right? It was meant to sell luxury, right? Posh.
Well, that's the thing, is like 89 to 99% of their fucking base was straight upper class males. Now, I'm not going to say there wasn't maybe a good 10 to 20% that might have been gay, because look, a lot of gay men are very accomplished.
Oh, no, absolutely. But
yeah, and I'm not saying they wouldn't have bought those cars, but that's the only reason I'm figuring that, right? Like, and even then, that's not the kind of guy they're going after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
exactly. And again, it was a lifestyle, man. It was like, it's like, hey, you got the big house, you got the beautiful woman, right? All you need now is the right car, and that was the Jaguar.
Yeah,
I agree. They used,
and like I said, Verbal, I can see probably more in New York and stuff like on Wall Street. Those guys probably really,
or like Upper Manhattan, or like just places like that. Probably more, yeah.
Because like McConaughey was pushing them and shit. Yeah,
they used to sell that kind of Bond lifestyle.
Yes, that's it, right? You want to be James Bond, and you did it with either a Jaguar or a Rolls Royce, right?
Right, and you couldn't afford
a lifestyle thing.
Exactly, you couldn't afford an Aston Martin. They're like, you get the Jag. But this picture was sent to me by someone, I won't say who, because they were listening to the Pedro. And they're like, George, did you check out the fact that, which I didn't know because I haven't read it in a long time, that GQ put Brad Pitt on the cover this month, because of F1. And they were showing, like One Man versus the Vanity Fair article, which was showing Hollywood's idea of the new masculine man, which is Pedro. So here it is side by side. Which one looks like a movie star?
Well, let's not let Brad Pitt off completely. He has wore some pretty queer shit.
He has, but
he still wears it much more manlier than Pedro.
More manly, man. Like I don't know, dude. Like you know what's weird, man. I was talking to a friend about this the other day. It's not even about the clothing. It's not about the look. Because I remember back in the 80s, man, there were a lot of androgynous looking dudes, man.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, dude, the whole hairband thing, right? I mean, you had guys wearing these leopard pants and big teased hair and makeup.
Well, that's kind of no. He's not wrong because that's why Steven Tyler even wrote "Dude looks like a lady." It was
exactly right. So I mean, but even then, you knew those were men, right? They still were. They were still even masculine, even with the makeup on, right? Yep. Pedro gives feminine energy.
Hey, that's a good one.
Energy that's just feminine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, well, that was kind of the whole point of those not boy bands, those hair bands in the 80s and such, was like that we're so manly and whatever that we can get away with wearing this shit.
Right.
That's kind of the point. Yeah.
And he always had hot chicks, on stage and in videos. And
he looks like the guy who was braiding everybody's hair in theater.
Yes.
Yeah. In high school. Yeah. But we need a palate cleanser, and now's the time. Hi, Debbie.
Please.
Great to see you. It's Edgar Wright's new trailer.
Running Man.
Yeah.
Blacklist.
I thought they were going to go for someone more of Schwarzenegger's physique, but
I'm kind of glad they didn't know. I
agree.
From what I gathered from the book, he was more of just a normal guy. He wasn't like this hulkish dude.
No, I like the casting.
I do, but I'm not sure he was ready for this yet, but I'll talk more about that when we get to the end of it.
That actor, I can't remember.
The black guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called Coleman Domingo. He's a great actor, man.
He is. There's just something about him. I was like, wow. He caught my attention.
He's a really good actor.
Do you remember in the original Running Man, they had the guy
Richard Dawson, man.
Yeah, Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson from the Family Feud.
Hell yeah.
I'll be back. Only in reruns.
I love you, and who do you love?
Yeah. But
I love the Running Man. The original Running Man.
That man was so bad. Motherfucker got Me Too'd before Me Too was a thing, and they still brought his ass back because all the women are like, bring him back. We wanted him to kiss us.
Foul, dude. The way he would kiss women on the Family Feud.
Oh. What would he do? Come here, sugar.
Come here, sugar. Especially the younger ones, yeah.
Not
Not just that, the younger girls is where it got a little kind of creepy. That was the thing, but it was always like the kind of mid-teenage age range. But no, that was a big thing. I remember, he got Me Too before it was even a fucking thing because of, we can't be having him kissing all these women on television. And as soon as they took him off, all the women freaked the fuck out. They're like, bring him back.
Yeah, they did. Tender Warrior just gifted 5 Georgia Giant Slayer memberships. Way to go. Please go thank Tender Warrior. I love it. Means we have 5 more people for this Saturday. Yes, thank you, Tender Warrior. Bless you. See, already starting the birthday.
Yes, but Richard loved the ladies, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, come on. He definitely did. Hey, Bob the Lobster. Love that you're here.
I almost thought it was Idris Elba the first time I saw it.
What they don't
I did too. I had to take a second look.
Are you saying that blacks look the same, Tom?
No.
And that's the chick from Sinners right there.
It is, I know, and she was badass in Sinners.
She was
I liked her much more than I don't remember the character's name. The white girl who was playing
Haley Steinfeld.
I don't like Haley Steinfeld. I don't have anything against her. I just don't like her acting ability. I wish her luck. No.
She's decent. She's not. I mean, I think she'll get there.
Okay, well, if she does, great. Like I said, I have nothing against her. She just doesn't. She does. To me, she doesn't have that magnetism. You could tell right here, she's magnetic. That's gravitas. Just looking like the actor who is running the show for Running Man. He looked great.
Never come back.
Oh yeah, she's hot. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like her acting.
This also has kind of like a John Wick feel to it.
It is, but I don't remember in the first one it was because he was like in the military. I wonder which one is closer to the book because I've never read the Stephen King
This
book.
is closer to the book right off the bat. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, because it was. I remember
that's
it was,
kind of the impetus for this, but that'll go off of what I was going to say when we're done here. So I'll just keep it now.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise.
That's the spirit.
Mason too.
Yeah. So this is not in a contained area. This is all over America.
He's out there. Yeah.
So it's the world hunting him, or it's these guys hunting him.
Both.
I think it's a both.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like they combined the Purge.
Well, I
Kind of
think
like
in
the
the initial.
Smoking Aces. There's a little bit of that in this.
Yeah, Smoking Aces, that's a good one.
Oh, great film. Yeah, no, there's a lot in this, man. So far, I'm in though. Yeah.
I like
day
it.
one for me.
I saw people bitching about it, and I was like, "Why? It looks fun." People are like,
It looks fun, man. We need more fun movies.
Well,
F1.
Yeah.
F1.
Stop filming me!
Have you ever wondered if this game?
Oh no! Is that what's his face?
Michael Cera.
God, he's another Jaguar.
Michael Cera is in this film.
Who let him back in Hollywood?
I have no idea.
I noticed he's only been playing small roles though lately, so I don't think he has a big role in this. I think Hollywood finally found out how to use Michael Cera, and that's to limit his role.
Game is rigged.
Guess we'll find out.
You might be moving up too fast.
This is, I think, what we need right now.
Yeah, sometimes I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I guess I'll be the Debbie Downer of it all.
Yeah,
not that I'm not saying it will be good, but I think first of all, it is obviously based more on the book.
Okay.
My other problem with this is that I'm not so sure that this caliber of movie, this size of a remake, readaptation, because here's the problem. Regardless if it's closer to the book, the general audience doesn't care. The way they see this is you're remaking an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Remember Total Recall when they tried doing it with Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
The whole point of that was it's closer to the original novel. The audience didn't give a shit.
Right.
There was in no world that Colin Farrell was as cool or as big
yes,
as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, what this has going for it, though, is two things, and that is that it isn't one of Arnold's bigger films, but the other side of it is it has in the story itself, it does have this broader place where you can play with it a little bit more. But then that also brings me back around to why didn't you just do something more original like this? Because we have had so many movies that use this type of concept. Like it's clearly like more of a ripoff of like Death Race 2000 and stuff like that. We've had everything up from, Surviving the Game to Hunger Games in recent years that use this same type of concept. Why didn't Edgar just come up with something as a vehicle for Glenn that wasn't Running Man but similar? Like, and again, I'm not saying it will do bad, it might do well. I just don't know if people are going to be accepting of it because it's like you got this guy who I don't really know playing an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, to where if Glenn Powell did this in like 3-4 movies from now where he's a little bit more well known, maybe hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong.
I'll say one thing. I don't think anybody remembers this generation who's going to cater to. They don't even know Schwarzenegger anymore. Think about it.
We're very far from Schwarzenegger's heyday.
As far as the younger under 20 crowd, you're probably right, but like
you think 20 to 35 know Schwarzenegger today?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Probably not in the same way we do, but they know who he is. I think
do they know him as governor, or do they know
as much as I loved it, and I think we all kind of have like a love for the original. It wasn't big box office wise. It wasn't a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No,
movie.
this is not going to be like Total Recall. I agree with you there that this has like the potential to be better than that, or at least do better than that did. Yeah,
but it has two things going for it though: Glenn Powell and Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
I would bet on it just for those two reasons alone. But on top of that, the trailer is pretty decent. So,
it is.
I mean,
You think Thanos is a draw on his own?
I just think not that he's a draw, but I feel like Josh Brolin just adds weight to whatever he's in.
Because I remember
he's not a deterrent though. That's the thing. Like I think, yeah, he's not a draw, but he's not a deterrent usually. To where people are like, oh, I can't stand him.
But I just remember Old Boy didn't do well when he did.
That don't mean shit.
That Old Boy was a rough. That was a rough remake.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonah Hex didn't either. But that's my point. Was that Josh Brolin isn't a leading man, right? He's good as Thanos. He's good as these kind of roles where he's playing a side character or the heavy.
Yeah,
right. Like
that's what he's
that.
good
He
at.
works. Yeah, and eventually Hollywood will figure out that's where Pedro Pascal belongs to.
You know what, man? Here's the thing. I think Pedro's maybe 2 bombs away from them finally realizing this.
You think so? With all the money,
you might be right because they are trying to do this thing with him.
Studios going to ask themselves, including Disney, how profitable is this guy really?
Now, what happens? What happens? The 1 in a million that the Mandalorian and Grogu hits $1 billion. I think we'll never see Pedro.
It's not pray. I don't think so. You're talking about basically a movie of a TV show,
and
outside of the
Dead franchise, there's no way.
And really, like outside of X-Files, when has there ever been a movie where they made a movie from one of the TV shows where it was that big or whatever?
Yeah, because I love Serenity, which is based on the show Firefly, but it didn't do well in the box office at all.
No, it didn't. Which
even
was
the
sad.
Clone Wars Star Wars spin-off cartoon movie that came out before the show premiered didn't do shit.
Oh, I thought it did great. It didn't. I loved it.
It did all right, maybe for what it was, but that was just because it was 3 or 4 episodes crammed together. Like I went to see it on opening day, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I thought it was going to be like an animated Star Wars movie. No, it was basically a pilot episode for a TV show, and it was me and this other lonely guy looking at each other, going, "What the fuck are we doing here?" Like across the theater, going, "This is sad." We are some sad fucking nerds.
Well, what I've heard, and this is totally rumor, and I don't know it to be true or not.
Okay.
I hear the reason why the studios like Pedro is number one is for some reason he has some level of popularity, so they can bank on that on some level. But I also heard, and this is I have no idea if it's true or not, that he comes in pretty cheap.
Really?
He's pretty cheap to get. So I mean, compared to
and his agent and manager must be able to fucking schedule him very well too. That was the other thing.
That's the other thing, yeah. But he comes in kind of cheap from what I heard, and they don't have to pay him as much as they pays like a Brad Pitt. Right. So I don't know.
You think that'll last? Okay. Now I think we can agree that Fantastic Foreskin is not going to do well.
Well, it doesn't look good. I don't think he'll get blamed for that though. But there is this campaign going on, and I'm not kidding. Where clearly they're trying to fix his image, whether it's his people, whether it's Disney behind it for Fantastic Four, what have you. We've had everybody from Spike Jonze to Emma Stone come out. I think I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And, we've had all these write-ups on him, which will come with the territory when it comes to something like Fantastic Four coming out. But again, this whole thing is like trying to resell this idea that he's this masculine new idea of Hollywood. You said it yourself, George, earlier. Yeah, it's like, it's bullshit. There's something behind it though. Either Hollywood's catching on and the jobs are drying up, or they're like, you got to fix your image because we can't sell you anymore. Like something's going on in the background that feels like the jig might be up a little bit. I don't know. I feel like there's something brewing here with Pedro, that somebody's privy now to the idea that, like, I even showed that comic that ever showed on here where it's like, even the general public has kind of gotten to the point with Pedro Pascal where he's a joke.
I mean,
he's in everything.
Because they're putting him in everything. I've never heard family of mine, well, at least in years, talk about an actor like they're like, why is this guy everywhere? They're like, you go to the supermarket, his pictures on everything. I mean, like, it's constant. And they're like, I've never heard of him before. Because we don't have movie stars like we used to. You see Tom Cruise, you're like, it's Tom Cruise. Brad Pitt, Denzel Washington, it makes sense. Morgan Freeman, established.
He feels more like a Jai Courtney or one of these other guys they tried forcing on us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what it feels like. But he is actually talented. Maybe that's the difference. And I'm not saying any of those other guys might not be, but...
Right, I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Other than the safe thing that women like to work with him, that might be the other thing.
I guess.
Maybe we're underestimating that in Hollywood to where there's just so many men that a lot of these actresses just won't work with anymore. That Pedro is just one of them they will.
Well, talk about somebody who just in many ways, just proved he is thin-skinned, as I believe Pedro Pascal is, because he constantly is attacking J.K. Rowling. Well, the other day you had Piers Morgan had Jake Paul on. He had Jake Paul on, and he asked him
This guy's still a thing?
It is, because he keeps doing these fights. Now, I don't always agree with Piers Morgan, especially when it comes to Jake Paul. I was like, I mean, Verbal and I, we talked about the whole Tyson thing, right? We talked about Jake Paul's career as a fighter, and is he a real fighter? Is he not? So Morgan had him on before his fight with Chavez Jr. Take a listen.
I think you're a great YouTuber, a great influencer. I admire what you tried to do in boxing, but I do think when you actually come up against a proper, serious boxer, and I suspect that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. may be that person, it could all come crashing down.
Piers, is that you think that your opinion matters?
Well, why are you doing my show if it doesn't?
Oh, I'm just taking your audience to sell pay-per-views. I don't give a fuck about your show. You dumbass. This is a fucking business enterprise. Buy the pay-per-view on Saturday, June 28th, me versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Thank you. Tune in, everybody.
Cheers, Jake. Really enjoyed that.
One of the lowest selling pay-per-views ever. His one big deal was Tyson. I think this guy is over. The thing is Piers came back and he brought on a professional fighter and a UFC fighter who was supposed to take on Paul, and now they're in a lawsuit because of the fact that he wouldn't. Basically, he picks people the same way he picked Tyson. He picks people who are over the hill, who are done with their career. 4 of his fights were with people who never were in the ring. It was their first time. So Morgan was trying to basically
even with the Tyson fight, though, man, like we all know Tyson threw the fight.
Yeah, but that's what Piers was saying. He's like, you're picking because Jake Paul kept saying, I am a real boxer. I am a real fighter. And Piers Morgan's like, you're not. You don't fight real fighters. He goes, do you think you could beat Mike Tyson when he was 22? And Jake Paul's like, yeah. I'm like, what crack are you on?
Okay, he's obviously delusional. Yeah,
he's like, you think you could beat Mike Tyson when he was 22 in his prime? He was saying, could you beat these people in their prime? And he's like, absolutely. I train hard. I work hard. So he was just trying to cut through it all and say, look, you're in this to entertain people. He goes, why don't you just tell the truth and say these aren't fights? These are like promotional fun, like a circus thing. And that just lit him up.
Like wrestling matches.
Yeah, he wants to I think that was one of the words he later used, because he wants to be taken seriously, like he's for real. It's just what do you think of that? When someone like buys, I guess, their own BS. Is that what that is?
Look, if you do what the Paul brothers do, you have to buy your own BS. Like you almost have to, right? I mean, obviously they're delusional, but I mean, they do have some level of talent, right? Jake he's an okay fighter at best. You know, Logan Paul is a decent wrestler, right? And that's not where their money lies. Their money lies in controversy. Their money lies in spectacle, right? And that's what they're good at. They're good at the spectacle. So, I mean, even that little stupid stunt on Piers Morgan was spectacle.
Okay. But you were a fighter. So you think he's a real boxer, or it's just not all?
I mean, I'm not a real. I boxed, but I'm not. You know, I was never ranked. I was never like a whatever.
Right.
But no, he's not that guy. Again, it's spectacle, man. The only reason why a real fighter would fight Jake Paul is for the exposure.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, there's no other reason to fight Jake Paul because he's a chump.
Wow. And that's why I think they've been avoiding, or at least Jake Paul has been avoiding real fighters who keep calling him out. Like, hey, let's just.
The problem is that boxing right now, boxing and MMA, if I'm being honest, they're kind of in this weird slump, right? When it comes to marketing, like people aren't as jazzed about fighting as they used to be.
Right.
Well, it's not respected as much as it used to be either.
Yeah,
that's part of the problem.
It's not drawing in the money. It's not drawing in the crowds that it used to, whether it's boxing or MMA. They're not. So, I would say right now, the industry does need somebody to kind of be like the what do you call
Cheerleader,
it? The tent
Poster boy.
master, the
Yeah.
the ringleader, right? They need
Yeah,
they need
true.
the guy to kind of rein it, to bring people in.
Don
I don't know if
King.
Jake Paul's that guy. He probably isn't.
Yeah, you need a Don King, really, and a Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali.
Well, and that's just it. Yeah. I mean, we could also have to just kind of maybe believe or understand that we've probably seen the height of that sport.
That's
right.
sad.
Like,
Well, until the next star comes along, right?
it could be. Well, and the thing is the sport's been so compromised by all the BS since probably the 80s now, between all the groups trying to shut it down because of the, the fact that it's fighting first and foremost, and just everything
I
else
just feel like
involved. But
there's no real stars to rally behind anymore.
That's
There's no
true
real
too, and that's what I'm
fighters
getting
to
at.
rally behind anymore. Like all these guys are cookie cutter. They're generic. They're not fun to watch. The last person that we had was Conor McGregor, right? Like he was a showman. He was a guy.
He was a showman.
If
I
his
barely
name's on the
would've known who
marquee,
he was.
you're going to go watch that fight. But we haven't had anybody like that.
We do need a Time Lord. Great to see you, Nigel. Always love it when you're here. Eric K has a few words for you for $5. Verbal may or may not have boxed his way out of a Diddy party. Manhood still intact.
That it is. Happy to say at 51 years old, I've been able to maintain it.
Hey, next week, like I said, July 8th, my birthday. He's going to hit the big one. Here we go. I wonder if Jake Paul could beat these two women. Someone took a fight between two women with broomsticks and turned it into Star Wars and had a little bit of fun.
Oh, God. What the hell?
It was supposed to. I think it was in the Bronx, and so someone re-edited it because they had broomsticks and just made them into lightsabers.
New York isn't a real place, man.
What is it?
I said New York isn't a real place.
Yeah, I know. It's another timeline.
It's about as real as LA. What are you talking about?
That's true.
I have something from LA waiting.
Hey, but at least we don't have vending machines with crack pipes in them. It's my knowledge.
Should say street wars.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. When it comes to LA, I found something. I know Verbal has probably seen it and Tom has probably seen it. But, by the way, everybody, please go hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. We have 277 people here, plus more on X. And it tells YouTube that you're enjoying it, which means then they'll push it out, and then more people will see it, and then more people will come in. Then we'll get bigger. We'll be happier because our voices will get out there more. We'll entertain more people and give you more facts. Have more fun. Here is something for Verbal, because he was talking about New York. Now, when I saw this, I'm like, it reminded me of when I was in Venice Beach. The kind of people that I met there. It was just...
I think we got our answers to why the fighting, boxing isn't doing so well.
Why?
Because we get free fights in public all the time with bitches with brooms. Why the fuck would we pay to see that shit in a? We can see it every day.
Yeah, we can. It's gotten crazy in life. There's been these videos that I started seeing where you see idiots who don't listen to the police, and people will upload them. Like this girl went to the bathroom. I think it was at a Chick-fil-A, but she didn't order anything. And she locked the door so no one could get in. So the manager asked her to leave. She wouldn't leave. They called the police, and the police are like, okay, you have to leave the property. And she just refused to look at him the entire time. She's like, I know my rights. I don't have to go anywhere. So this went on for like 10 minutes. Cops like,
Right.
look, I don't want to arrest you, but I'm going to arrest you. She didn't look like she could be 7. He's like, I know my rights. And she's like, by the way, I have a medical condition. She's putting like a contact in her eye. And the cop's like sitting there going, I'm going to arrest you. So she walks 5 feet. He's like, yeah, I have to keep going. And this goes on and on. She gets in the park. He's like, off the property. Long story short, he got tired of it. She leaves. The cop says, if you come back, I'm going to arrest you. An hour later, she comes back. Cop pulls her out of there. She's like, but I bought a meal. The manager said I could buy a meal. He says, but I told you can't return. And he arrests her. And the entire time for 10 minutes, she's screaming her head off. I did nothing wrong. But screaming like a maniac. So you see this kind of stuff. Maybe it's the world has just gotten just tired of all the fighting in many ways.
Usually when a cop tells you, I don't want to arrest you, but
he told
that's
us
your last,
and he told me over and over and over. He kept saying, I do not want to do this. He goes, I really don't. He goes, but you're not. All she kept saying was, I know my rights. I know my rights. I did nothing
They always
wrong.
do.
And I was like, wow.
My favorite ones is like, I'm not resisting when they're like kicking and thrashing about.
Or spitting.
Like, yeah, and spitting and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
Did you see that the University of Pennsylvania, I'm looking for this till I find it, that they apologized to Riley Gaines?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because of Leah Thomas, for allowing Leah Thomas to swim and compete. It was just fascinating that they finally did it after all this time.
Okay, but what does that mean? Are they actually going to strip Leah Thomas from like her or his
I don't know
his trophies? Like how does that work?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask y'all, because to me it sounds like they're going to actually take them away, because otherwise it's bullshit apology. It's not real.
And does he have to give them back?
That's a good question. A good question. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I don't know how any of this works, man. Like I think moving forward, they need to cut this shit out. But I don't know if they can retroactively go back and take titles and medals away,
I don't know, though. I guess we're going to find out pretty soon. But the fact that they bent the knee, I think, is a big sign.
Well, yeah, and you know who's the thing for that, man?
Trump.
Trump.
Absolutely, because he was told them to comply or get steamrolled.
Again, do you think any of this shit would have happened if Kamala would have won? I'm telling you, these people were banking on this, man.
No way. It would be Jaguar would be just the tip of the iceberg in their commercials. Leah Thomas, they'd be lining up. Now, there's something I've been wanting to share because I found this. I couldn't believe it had only, I think, 1,000 views. Who besides me loves Terry Gilliam? Monty Python.
Oh, yeah. Great director.
Brazil. I mean, you name it, genius. Well, he has a final film that he's been wanting to fund, but he says no one in Hollywood will fund it. His final film. And I found the interview that he was talking about it. Listen to the concept. It's brilliant. It's only 1 minute and 8 seconds to the interview.
You've made your, a little off topic from Time Bounce, you made your Don Quixote film after decades of trying. That was back in 2018. It's the film that you've always said that was your dream project. Is that it now? Is directing over and done with for you?
No, I've got a new script we've written. I don't know if anybody will ever fund it because I'm taking on the world we seem to be living in now, which has become very absurd on so many levels. Carnival at the end of days. God decides to wipe out humanity for fucking up his beautiful garden, Earth. That's where it goes. And the only person trying to save humanity, actually, it's not, he doesn't save humanity. God does get to wipe out all of humanity, but Satan provides a new Adam and Eve and convinces God it's worth starting again.
Right. Bit of a theological base to that one then, Terry.
Always.
Here's the thing. I've been reaching out, so we're going to confirm dates, and he's going to join us on Slayer Nation in the next.
Terry Gilliam?
Yep, in the next 4 weeks. Yeah, so we're going to get to have him for an hour, not 2.
Wait a minute. One of the Monty Pythons?
Yeah. I've been trying for a year to get.
Oh, dude, I'm definitely going to be. I want part of that show. I want in for sure, because that is wild.
Of course, you're always. It's going to be a fun show. Next week we have Brandon Straka. He confirmed last night, so it's going to be fun. July 13th.
I mean, he should get his own episode. I mean, that's a big pool, man.
Because I want to get the word out. He says no one in Hollywood will fund this project.
Well, okay. How much does he need?
I have no idea. He's
'Cause
also
I
getting
think
Johnny
somebody will
Depp to
fund
play
it.
Satan. He's getting Johnny Depp to play Satan.
Oh, dude, somebody's going to fund that, man.
Nobody has touched it so far. Nobody. They said.
Can you
it's
imagine
too-
though, like your studio, how it is kind of scary that kind of
Why?
movie to make, right? Like
Every one of his films is a cult classic.
it is.
Can you-
It is.
What is it with Lynch and Gilliam that the studios just don't want to get behind them?
They're original.
They're afraid of them.
They're original. They have a voice. They're not silent.
I mean, obviously it's too late for Lynch now, but I mean, yeah, like he even died with a project that he wanted to get made real bad.
Oh,
Like,
dude, they're afraid of those guys, man.
You can't be original. Come on. I was gonna wait till later in the show, but there is a source that I always use. It's not anything hidden. It's called the Insider, the Disney Insider, and I've been following it for a few years. One of the key guys always hits the nail on the head when it comes to Disney. Probably 70% out of 100, 70 out of 100% of the time. And he said next year at D23, you know what's going to be announced? The reboot of Indiana Jones franchise, because they said they spent too much money on it. So they said come 2026.
They need to stop.
No, they said it's to them. It's there, just like Star Wars. They said they're going to give it a couple years. Yeah, I see it. You love, yep. Brazil, one of my favorite.
They need to stop this.
Plus Las Vegas. Yeah, that's Baron.
I have
man.
that too. Sorry, I got a bunch of them here.
No, Terry Gilliam.
Sorry.
Just like right now, you have John Cleese. You know, he's rebooting. Oh my God, I can't believe my brain. I just had a brain fart. The hotel one where he's a hotel manager, the one perfect one season. You know what I'm talking about, Tom? Faulty Towers.
Yeah.
He's rebooting it, but he said he's not going to want to do it.
Cleese is kind of weird. He for every one cool thing he says like 3 stupid things. Anymore.
I know he does, but Gilliam, I want to see that movie. Who doesn't want to see that movie from Terry Gilliam?
I just want to know what the catch is. Like, because why they can't get just even 3 or 4 guys together to go, fuck it, we're gonna fund this movie? Like, I don't get it.
Why? Think about it. What have we always talked about the last 6 months? Hollywood refuses to do anything original. They want old IP that they have a franchise around. I mean,
Well, okay, but here's the thing. I guess the other part of it is we don't know what's in the script, right? Because he talks about like the world getting all messed up. He could be talking about a bunch of shit, right? Like he might mention like gay people, trans people, some shit like that. I mean,
I have no idea. I guess,
and they're afraid to touch it, right? They don't want to be the ones.
But
I'd like to see the script.
But he always goes after whatever the sacred cows are. That's his shtick. Like that's anyway.
Well, he's always been the outsider of the group, right? I mean,
yeah.
But he's always been the visionary too. Like, I mean, fuck. I mean, I got just the few of his movies sitting here, plus Fear and Loathing, like you brought up, and some other ones.
Yeah.
Like, the guy knows how to make movies.
Time Bandits.
Yeah. I mean, Baron Munchausen is a fucking infinitely entertaining film. I don't give a shit what anybody says, and I don't understand why it failed at the box office. And it was probably one of his most studio films. It's just, you know, that between that and what was it with the Robin Williams one?
Relooted, already reimagined Indiana Jones.
Okay, I'm back. No, I'm saying he's one of the few auteurs out left. You know,
Fisher King. I couldn't remember the damn name for a second there. Fisher King is amazing.
I haven't seen that.
See, that's his like real studio picture, and that got all his like acclaim.
Yeah,
I put Gilliam up there with like crazy guys like, you know, Uderowski and you know, filmmakers like that.
Kinda, right? But he did the Fisher King to prove he could make regular movies, right? Because that was like, like that wacky like auteur artist, you know, musician who was like playing like, is this guy really a fucking genius, or is he just banging on a goddamn guitar in his underwear? Right. That's where he come out and threw you a Fisher King to see, look, I can do this shit. Right. This other shit is not me being a wackadoo whacking on a guitar with my fucking in my underwear. I actually know what the fuck I'm doing. And that's at the moment where I think every studio should have been like, okay, from now on, we shouldn't say no to Terry Gilliam. We get it why we said it before. But after this, he's shown us he is a musician. He does know what he's doing. He isn't just being a complete retard. let's see what he's got next. And I mean, even Fear and Loathing should have shown you, because sure, it didn't do the greatest at the box office, but you tell me that that's not a fucking cult film. Like, everybody knows that movie, right? And it's an amazing film. So just between those two movies alone.
You know who I could see taking a chance on this would be
who?
Probably Apple, like Apple Plus.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I can't believe any streamers haven't. Yeah,
yeah.
He might. Well, we don't know the script. Well, I guess when I get
he might also insist on like theatrical and Final Cut and all these other things that we don't.
Yeah,
know.
but Apple's doing theatrical now. So I mean,
F1. Well, let's just talk about F1. Here is the great news. So I loved F1. I bought another ticket to see it again. F1 is classic in every way. I'm working on a review. I'm just going to do a short review because I don't want to spoil it. You want to see Brad Pitt in full movie star mode? You want to see real men be masculine, women be sexy, women, a romance, and men actually give wisdom? No betas, no cucking, no woke.
No mansplaining.
No mansplaining. Just men being men. Here's the thing. It was announced 2 days ago that it was a rumor, and now it's being reported that Apple is doing the sequel. And when I first heard it, and I had called Verbal, I was like, you can't really do a sequel because the way it ended. What did I find out? The sequel they're talking about, if they can make it work, is a crossover sequel with Cruise, Days of Thunder, and F1 into one universe. So you have Pitt and Cruise. I think if that happens, it's going to be the biggest film of 2020.
If they can make it work,
yeah,
I'm in.
Well, think about it, because Cruise has said he wants to do Days of Thunder, the sequel, to see what happened, just the same way he did Top Gun Maverick. And so the pitch that was given, according to World of Real, hold on, let me just pull it up here. The pitch was this.
Well, you almost would have to, because the problem is now is that a movie like F1, the main storyline that it has, it already kind of is like what you would have done with Days of Thunder 2. So what are you left to do now? It's either going to be the Rocky Balboa version where, Trickle decides he's going to come out of retirement and be a driver again, and everybody tells him he's too old, or it's going to have to be something like this where they do crossover because they've already done the other storyline, which is a young racer coming in and you need the old racer to kind of give him the knowledge. Because I mean, that was the original Days of Thunder. Right. And it's funny because I just watched it this last weekend, and when it came out exactly 35 years ago to this last weekend.
Yeah, I just posted a link to Tom Cruise's tweet where he talks about that.
Yeah, it's just crazy that all like culminated that way. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know what else you can do. I was just saying I don't know what else you can do besides one of those two things. So yeah.
Well, the thing is that Tom Cruise has also gone to several theaters promoting it, several premieres. Promoting F1. You can check it out online. He's got multiple videos where he's out there pushing Brad Pitt. He's like, so I think there's something in the works. So it says, while details remain under wraps, one can't help but wonder if this could be tied to the Days of Thunder crossover that director Joseph Kosinski wants to pitch. And I checked it out. He has pitched it. So I think that would be pretty cool. Days of Thunder with F1. I think that would be a hell of a ride. Hell of a ride. Now let's see. I think this trailer is also good to take a look at for some fun. I love the original film. I bought the book about a month ago after Robert Meyer Burnett told me to. If anybody who likes The Martian, well, hold on to your seats because Project Hail Mary is coming. Did you see The Martian? Verbal, Tom?
Yep. You know what's crazy is I had never seen the movie.
Really? Good movie.
Yeah, I've never seen The Martian.
Book 10 times better.
It's the last good
my brother Sindek told me
Ridley Scott movie, really.
Yeah. Because
that's just because he had a strong foundation.
Yeah, what has happened to Ridley? I would like to discuss that one day because it feels like his name is just on things and he's not doing it.
You ever seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yeah.
And the Good Will Hunting scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
And where the director, God, what's his name?
Gus Van Sant.
Gus Van Sant, where he's like, Gus, I need some direction. And he's like, I'm busy here, Ben, busy. And he's counting his money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Ridley Scott now. I shit you not, 100. I've even heard people say that's really all. He just shows up, sits in his trailer, gets stoned, and plays video games while everybody else does his job for him.
Because he's
That's
got,
insane. Don't get me wrong. Good work if you can get it, but
right. But
come
on, Napoleon to.
I know, man. You know what it is. I don't even think it's just that. I think it's also just old man's disease. I think I think a filmmaker has a few good years in them to make movies, right? And then after that, it's just all shit. And you see it with Coppola. I mean, that last movie was fucking awful. You see it with all the greats, really. That's why I'm almost glad Spielberg kind of quietly retired, because, or at least from directing anyway, because I just don't think he would be any good anymore either.
Mm-hmm. What about Scorsese?
He's getting up there, man. I mean, I think Scorsese's one movie away from kind of smelling his own farts. You know what I mean?
I love Scorsese. He is unabashedly like just Scorsese. Like, did you see his recent post from his daughter?
No.
Because he's got this young kid who's always posting shit on Instagram, basically making fun of how much of a boomer he is.
Mm-hmm.
She just said recently that she thinks it's funny because her dad will sit there and watch his movies and act like he's never seen them before. And she'll be like, Dad, you literally made this movie. Like, she doesn't. This is where women don't understand men and why we don't really care about getting old and getting senile, because we get to re-experience everything like it's the first time. And if we made it, it's even better, because of course we're going to think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And whatever happened to the Scarface remake? I saw Lucifer Morningstar. He said,
I don't know.
And then I heard about it, and then it left. And then
they've tried it like 3 or 4 times now, and I think the problem is they keep trying to make it with like a black angle is the problem. Then the last time they were going to go with like the like they were trying to lean back into like the Latino angle again. Like, I think that's the problem, is they're just thinking too much about it. And it's like, no, you're not going to be able to outdo what De Palma and Pacino did. Nobody is.
No
ever.
Way. No, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Jay Fraser for 10 pounds. Hail Slayer Nation. Hail to you, Jay. It took George Harrison to personally fund Monty Python's Life of Brian. What the film and TV industry need more of is the outsider with money who believes in a vision and can fund it. If I had the money, I would do it. I would do it. Thank you for that, Jay, because when you have someone like Terry Gilliam, come on, the man has vision. He's going to put everything into it. But it's the same way Zemeckis said he only has one film that he wants to make more than anything. In the interview we saw 3 months ago, he wants to do, even though I think it's the nuttiest idea ever, 2 films, sorry. He wants to do the Jessica Rabbit, the Jessica Rabbit, the sequel to Jessica Rabbit. It's not called Jessica Rabbit. What's that called, Tom?
You mean the book or the
Not the book.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or what are you
Right
talking
from
about?
Roger Rabbit, yeah. But he wanted to do the sequel where he wanted to do
the Zemeckis one, yeah.
And then he wanted to do a Back to the Future musical, and he said no one's going to fund that in Hollywood. So it's just interesting. Mark Daly for $10. Happy early birthday, George. I won't be around for the actual party as I'll be up north celebrating my own birthday on the same day. Congrats and keep up the good work. Well, congratulations and a happy early birthday to you. Hey, we share the same birthday. That is awesome. July 8th is the day. Let's get back to Project Hail Mary.
You got a birthday. I got a birthday. George has got a birthday. Everybody's got a birthday.
Yep.
Even Robert Meyer Burnett.
Happy
birthday.
every day.
Or whatever, where they had to go and
Solaris?
They had to kickstart the sun.
Oh,
Not Solaris.
Yeah, I forgot what movie that was.
You know what I'm talking about, Verbal. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was called, though. But yeah, Sunshine. It was Sunshine. I was right. Okay.
Sunshine. Hey, thank you, Bob. The Lobster is always on target. Everything is going to then now be going to Ryan Reynolds
That
as
looks
well.
interesting.
Yeah, no. It's really, I started reading it. Like I said, I got it a month ago after Robert Meyer Burnett told me. And it's already pulled me in. I just haven't had time. But
you know what? I'd rather see more Ryan Reynolds than Pedro Pascal.
Oh, any day. I enjoyed his last movie, not Barbie, Fall Guy.
Yeah, Fall Guy was fun.
But it didn't do well. I was surprised. I was really surprised.
Bad marketing.
You think that's what it was? Just bad marketing?
Yeah.
Because it was a fun movie. Aiken for $3 Australian. Pedro Peepees, Peds, is the Jaguar ad for masculinity.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You nailed it. Yes, she is.
And you also have to look at the women who are calling him masculine too.
Good point. Good point. And that must be why they haven't Me Too'd him yet. It has to be because he's always pawing them.
Well, because he's on their side. He's a male feminist.
Tom brought that up earlier, how he was pawing that actress at a premiere. I was like, he did the same thing at the Zegler.
You know what it is? Because he'll do something like that, George. He'll do something like that. But then he'll also like go grab a guy's ass, right? And women are so weird when it comes to that, right? Because if any other guy were to touch him inappropriately, right? Oh, easily Me Too'd, easily, shamed, easily, charges brought, all kind of shit, right? But the minute they see a guy finesse another guy, all of a sudden, oh, I guess it was okay. It was fine.
Because he's gay. He's safe, like we were saying before. I wish I was queer so I could get chicks, dude.
You just got to pretend, man. You just got to pretend.
Go pretend. Go pretend, Tom. That's it. Pretend.
That song is like my theme song. I swear.
So
always make sure you have a male friend around you so you can grab their ass in front of a hot chick, and then there you go.
They won't get offended and punch me?
No. Not at all.
Is that the new wingman now, Verbalist?
Hey, Elias.
Hey, Tom, if you want a liberal woman, yes.
No. Wow.
You want a liberal woman, that's what you got to do.
They are the crazier ones in bed. That's true. What were you saying, George? Sorry.
I was saying that's the dating technique.
You know, weird guys. Like
take a gay wingman with you.
When liberal women were like the hot ones. Like, remember those days, like back in like the 80s and 90s?
Not
like,
anymore.
Liberal
You
chicks
don't
were
want
like the hot ones.
You mean the LA
No.
ones? Yes, but the general ones, yeah, not really. But
He's
they
not
were.
wrong.
They were usually
No,
the
he's
hot
not
ones.
wrong. There was always those cute little hippie chicks in the granolas.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
and the granolis or whatever you call them.
They had hair on their legs.
Not all of them. Not all of them. But even then, like, you knew you were getting laid that night. Like, that was the best part.
Yeah, now you need a contract. I told you what happened, Verbal. Or I think I told Tom. I can't remember one of this. I think I've been drinking too much today because I started we do a birthday week in our family. So it's like,
oh,
today,
no, you got to do it, man. You got to do it.
I'm doing a
Greek, it's
birthday
allowed.
week. When I went out on that date 4 months ago, I think I shared it on one of the streams. I've never been on a blind date in my life. I went on one. This was the last one, the first one and the last one. Having a good time, nice restaurant, whole 9 yards. And she reaches her hand, a little candle on the table, and she reaches her hand across. What sign do you get when a woman reaches her hand across all the way across the table? To you.
Hold hands.
Right. Grab her hand. Right. The second I touched it, she pulls back. She goes, "Did I give you consent for that?" I'm like,
"Oh, no. Nope."
All right. So I'm like, "I'll be right back." I got up, went to
What
the
was she
manager.
reaching for then?
Nothing. I got up, paid the bill, ordered an Uber. I came back, took care of it all. I said, "It was nice meeting you. Hope you have a great night. Please delete my phone number.
Yeah.
Give me your cell, and the Uber will be outside for you." She goes, "You don't want to take me?" "Oh, no, I don't deal with that kind of crazy because that's all. You never know what they're gonna say."
Dude, honestly, it's not worth it, man. Like, that's the thing. Look, I always say, and I guess it's now. I used to say it. Maybe it only applies to young guys now because at this age it doesn't matter, but. You gotta use the hot to crazy scale, man. And you gotta understand, the hotter they are, the more crazier they're probably going to be, right? You want to find something right in the middle there, right? Like you want the balance.
She had a boobage of 8 and an overall of 6, I'd say.
Yeah, nah. Oh, and that's the other thing. If they're too crazy and they're not even hot enough to be that crazy, instant no.
Verbal. I was gonna say, these new chicks have kind of thrown that all out of whack.
It's a little different. So I was like, nope. Consent? Are you kidding me? Because you read about that where guys will talk about it. Some girl told them to fill out a form before they had sex when that started up in New York out of Columbia University, when they started saying you really shouldn't have sex at university unless you get full consent. And that also, now they were talking about last semester how if the girl is drunk, you need to get, what was it? Not continual sex, but affirmed consent. So as you're having sex, you have to affirm it again because they're drunk. And at any point, they may not be completely aware. I'm like,
so right in the middle, you're just like, "Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this?" Mid thrust.
Yeah, it's like, "Will you please sign right here?"
I mean, this always reminds me of, I mean, I don't know if he did it originally. I think it was a cover song he did, but Meatloaf did this song called Where the Rubber Meets the Road. And he said, lawyers in the front seat, judges in the back seat, judges in the front seat, lawyers in the back seat, getting it on videotape. Both of them swear they both got raped. Like, it's the whole truth, man. It's like, that's the way we're living. Like, that was like 20, 30 years ago almost now. And it's like, we're actually living in that world. Like, you almost have to get consent now. And it's, you say it's crazy. Like, there's been situations where I'm like, if this does go anywhere past like first or second base, I am going to get some kind of like recorded verbal fucking consent from this bitch. Cause I don't know if I can trust her all that way.
I mean,
that's the world we live in now.
You got to do these shenanigans now, man. I mean, it's.
Yeah. It's,
you never know.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
I mean, dude, honestly, for me, it always goes back to Aziz Ansari, right? Like, that is the epitome of a guy who got screwed and not in the right way, right? This guy went on a bad date. He had sex with a chick who consented, but then regretted it the next day, like a lot of chicks do. Like, oh, why did I fuck that guy? But instead of just taking her L, she decides to ruin the guy's career.
I remember. It's horrible. But the whole point is that I thought perhaps it was just because I went on a blind date. I never did that before. Friends of mine are like, just do it once. Just go on a blind date. We'll set you up. And I'm like, I don't need to be set up. I find my own girls my entire life. No problem. They're like, but you've been working. And so I went for it. Never again. Never did.
The last blind date I went on was in '94.
This was my first one.
I will never, and I've never done it since.
Yep. Never will do it again.
I mean, unless you consider like meeting a Tinder date for the first time, like a blind date, I guess. Like, I don't know, but
at least you talked to her. I didn't know this person, and I trusted my friends who I've known forever. And they're like, y'all are going to do great. Because Greg was like, she's got big boobs. You're a boob man. And then his wife's like, she's got a great brain. You got everything. She's going to be perfect. It's great. Go try it. Beautiful. I'm like, yeah, I called her on myself. Are you fucking crazy? The second I got in the car, you hooked me up with a mental midget. Anyway.
Yeah, no, no, you did the right thing. You did the right thing. You got out of there.
Well, because what am I going to do?
You did it in public, so she can't make shit up. Yeah.
Oh, no, no. I was like, and she was trying in a way to walk it back, but not walk it back. As I was slowly walking away, she's like, well, I didn't mean anything by it. Well, I was just playing. And I'm like, that's not play from me. I didn't give you consent to touch me. I'm like, oh, no. I ain't kissing you, touching, go away. Nope.
Everything on this planet will go extinct.
I think I figured it out real quick. I'm interrupting the trailer. It's like she reminded me of how it's like she wanted to be a woman, but also at the same time a toddler. Does that make sense? Like wanted to have a temper tantrum.
Well, that's most of them, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first.
But it's just not that they want to have a temper tantrum. They think that's what's going to win them whatever.
A power trip of hell if I know.
Yeah, like they think that's what's going to get them their way.
Very odd. Noticed that. Did you see that?
See what?
Is that an instrument? Yeah. Or a robot or something?
Yeah, some kind of robot.
This, though, is communication still works when he's that close to the sun?
Interesting. I haven't finished reading it, just in one chapter. Don't know. That'd be a good question. If anybody knows in the chat, please let us know. Bob, do you know? Would communication work that close to the sun?
I know we have to suspend disbelief, but I'm just...
I know. Just curious question. Good question. It looks good.
I mean, I'm going to see it because Robert, has boasted about this thing forever, and I trust him. So I'm like, and honestly, it's Ryan Gosling who I like, and the premise looks interesting. So I'm definitely going to go in like I do everything, give it a fair shake and see what happens. I don't know though is how big it's going to be box office wise.
Martian big?
For some reason I don't see it being a huge film.
Well, there you go. Lord Thoth, our incredible moderator, answered, no, communication does not work right that close to the sun. Gravity changes everything. Thank you, Lord Thoth. Love it. Yeah, I would figure it would be as big as The Martian. Tom, do you know how big The Martian was? Because I remember it was a hit.
It wasn't huge.
They kept saying it was
did
a hit.
Okay. Let me look.
It's okay, Bob. I'm glad you're here.
Actually did pretty well. It did about 630 worldwide.
Oh, well, shit. I was way off then.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what his
mostly
last?
international, but yeah.
Probably because of Matt Damon, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad part about this is it's almost a movie from like a bygone era now. Hopefully it's a, you know, gateway back into the old style of films because, you know, that's the way movies used to be made. They used to find like a book or something like that where they would base a movie off of it and then they'd find an actor to go with it and they'd sell the concept on that. And, you know, I mean, that's where like Running Man, like we were talking about earlier with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, like that's what they used to do is try and find these things for these actors. And it was kind of all married together with like a, you know, in like a magic summer, and every once in a while you'd get a hit, and sometimes you wouldn't. And
you know what's crazy to me, man? It's like we keep talking about what's going to save the film business, what's going to help theaters, man. And it's so weird that the answer is really simple, but yet everyone keeps kind of skirting around it. It's like if you just make good shit, people will go watch it.
That's
right?
a big
they
part
will
of it.
show
Verbal.
up, put their ass in the seat, and watch it if it's good. That's all
And
you
Sinners
have to do.
kind of proves that, but they do also need to reinvent the movie star. That's the biggest hurdle. I
Yes,
think they
movie
have.
star. You need movie star, but they can't talk on
Because
social
nobody's going to
media.
see those stories, Verbal, if they don't really care about the people who are.
No, and
in
you're
them.
absolutely right. And right now, I mean, other than the ones we already have that are getting old, we don't have like Glenn Powell is even he's not that young, by the way. But
yeah, what's he, 30?
But he is like becoming more of a name.
Yeah.
But even he is not at that level of like a Matt Damon.
No.
Right? Or a Brad Pitt or anybody like that.
Yeah, and then we've brought this up many a time, and I'm like saying, the closest thing we have right now, and I hate saying these names, most of them, but Zendaya is one of them, Timothy Chalamet, you know, those guys, along with like your Glenn Powells and you know, just a very few random, even your Sydney Sweeney's, I guess you could even consider it, but Jenna Ortega is another one that's up there.
Yeah, I don't
like,
consider Sydney Sweeney a big star, but I
no,
know
but she's a well-known name at this point. Like that's what I'm saying. Like she's slowly becoming a name that people know and they recognize her. And that's the thing. We don't have. That's a slight handful that we've mentioned outside of Pedro fucking Pascal, who actually is another
not
one
a
who's
movie star, by the way.
Who's technically not a movie star and he's old. You're right, but they think he is. Right. That's my point. Is Hollywood thinks he is.
I think they're trying to turn him into that artificial.
But now think about that in comparison to where, like, I could go back to a year, say 1986. You could ramble off. You had everybody from Tom Cruise, Eddie Murphy, fucking Chevy Chase, fucking, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, all the way down through people that like Charles Bronson was still hanging around. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead.
Clint Eastwood.
I was gonna say even the actresses. You know, we had like Demi Moore, we had Deborah Winger, we had like just these heavyweight actresses, man, and
Kim Basinger.
And all these people we mentioned could
Kim Ba- oh my
actually
God.
open films, right? Not just be in them with other people and whatever, but actually open fucking movies. Bill Murray, you know, just
Michael
names.
Douglas. Yeah.
Michael Douglas.
Michael
right? Even
Michael
somebody
Douglas. My God, that guy
like,
was
he didn't
huge.
even try to be a fucking movie star, and he still became.
He was
Yeah,
huge,
Basic
man.
Instinct launched him into the stratosphere.
He just wanted to produce and shit. He never tried to get it into his dad's shadow.
Dude, a young Mickey Rourke. I mean, we had like
Mickey Rourke was almost he was on the cusp of being this big thing, and then he fucked that all up.
Dude, Mickey Rourke could have been one of the biggest fucking actors of all time. He could have been that guy.
Then he did this boxing thing, and it looks like somebody ran over him with a bus.
Burt Reynolds. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, you had all across the board. You had different kind of guys. I mean,
Burt Reynolds. Shit. I mean,
even guys like Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby and stuff could make stuff back then, and nobody would say shit. Like I just watched before I come on here, Hollywood Shuffle. Robert Townsend.
Oh, great film.
Could you imagine that movie? Like that thing is not get made today. It would never get made today.
No, Tom. It would be, but it would be woke as fuck. Like
that's the problem. Yes.
It wouldn't be what it is. You know what I mean?
Sadly.
Yeah, even Gene Hackman is a great example of a guy who went from being a character actor who could actually be in a starring role. You had a lot of those kind of guys like Rodney Dangerfield and you know, your Dabney Coleman's and everything like
I would
that.
almost put Hollywood Shuffle as far as I would almost put it on the list of recommended watching, only because if you want to see what Hollywood treated black actors like back in like even the 80s,
you want to see true racism, right? Yeah.
You want to see real racism? Watch that, because it shows you like how Hollywood treated black actors and actresses, right? See, now they try to be all progressive and woke and shit. No. It wasn't like that back in the day. They specifically kind of. But here's the thing: it's a comedy, guys. So you'll you'll be laughing your ass off the whole time you're watching it.
It's a little slow starting, but once you get to the brothers,
oh my god,
on film thing, like, because that's the
You
thing.
will
The
not
roots
stop
of
laughing
the
the whole
roots of
fucking
In Living
time,
Color are in this movie, and I'm not even trying to be punny with that either, right? Like you can see because not only is like Marlon and Damon, or not Marlon, Damon
Keenan.
and Keenan
And
are in
Damon,
this,
yeah.
and Damon are in this, and you can see where they were getting a lot of their and probably feeding off of a lot of this stuff too from Robert, to where like we got to make a show of this shit. Right, because that's really kind of what it is. It's almost like In
so
Living
funny.
Color,
It's
the
so
movie.
good.
But it is. It just follows this guy who just wants to be an actor, but like he's faced with the idea that every role I'm offered is nothing but gangster one, and you know,
buffoon,
or buffoon, or black buffoon, or whatever. Yeah.
I like when he goes to the interview or to the audition, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we need an Eddie Murphy type."
Yeah, we need an Eddie Murphy type.
That look like Eddie Murphy.
They all look like Eddie Murphy. Yeah.
And before that, they were just like, we need somebody who's black. He's not black enough. It's like,
yeah, he's not black enough.
It is the whitest of white motherfuckers saying this shit too.
He's like, can you be a little bit more black?
Yeah. And then I love it when they're like the one lady's like trying to be all intimidating and shit, and the one lady's on the phone, and she's like, she's distracting me. And she's like, we're sorry, we're looking for somebody more intimidating. She gets up, it's like, I can play intimidating, and she's like, nah, we've seen enough. She's not even scared by her. You're right, 100%. Now they play that same scene. That white bitch would get scared into giving her the part.
Oh, absolutely,
right, like that would be the joke, and it's like, no, the joke is she doesn't give a fuck. Because she knows she has all the power in that room right now. And she already told this chick to fuck off. She's not listening.
They could never make that movie again today. They couldn't do it.
No.
You're forgetting about one big one, the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh God,
that
yes.
was wild. Yes.
Come on, Kentucky. They would never make that today either.
No, but I mean, Verbal's right about as far as like the commentary on racism in Hollywood. And Robert really just had his thumb, not just on the pulse, but just pressed so hard down.
Yeah.
And he's saying so desperately with this movie is, you motherfuckers got all this talent out there, and unless it's Eddie Murphy, you don't want us.
Yeah.
Unless it's to play a slave
and he does it in such an intelligent and like in a way that Hollywood, in a nuanced way that Hollywood can never do today.
Unfortunately,
Hollywood can
It's
never
brilliant.
make that movie today because they don't know how to make that movie.
It's so brilliant, yeah. Anyhow, sorry
No,
to sidetrack
no,
there, but
no,
no, it
you
is.
didn't.
It's a movie that I think that everybody should watch nowadays to
Yes.
kind of remind themselves of how far we've come,
But you also-
especially woke folk.
But you also had back then Malkovich and Nicolas Cage at his prime.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. We could just sit here and ramble off all day these guys who could not only open films but be in like supporting roles even, right? Like look at a movie like Crimson Tide.
Oh yeah.
We'll never get a movie like that now. Or anything like that where you have these really strong performances with, like, I mean, True Romance, right? Or something like
was
that.
awesome. Kathleen.
Romance.
Yeah,
One of my
Michael
favorites
Douglas.
in my top 5 of all
Hell yeah.
time.
Hell yeah, that was.
They
very
wouldn't make
good.
that movie now, or it'd be straight to Netflix.
Well, even Danny DeVito. You remember
How
when?
to make that movie now?
No, you remember when Danny DeVito got really hot when he did after True Romance, when he did the one with Bette Midler.
Ruthless People.
Ruthless People.
Oh, you're not.
and he
Are you
did
thinking of the same
Twin-
True Romance we're talking about?
No,
Or
no,
are you
you're
thinking
talking
of
about True Romance. You're talking about with Gary Oldman.
Yeah, Tony
Yes,
Scott.
yes,
directed
yes.
it.
About Romancing the Stone, also.
Yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's what I was
True
wondering if you were.
Romance-
Yeah.
Yeah, True Romance, classic. Because they're both. When I think of True Romance, for some reason, I always think of
Well, and
Romance.
it's weird because I was confused because there is a crossover eventually because Danny DeVito is one of the key people to get Pulp Fiction made because he was one of the
Right.
producers. But
Yep.
yeah. Anyway, back to your story. I'm sorry.
Then you had Travolta, Get Shorty, Pulp Fiction. I mean, we can go on and on. Harrison Ford at his peak, Witness.
Oh my
God.
fuck yeah! In
Yeah.
'86, hotter than hot. Yes, and I didn't even mention him. You're right.
He
Yes.
could do anything he
And
wanted.
don't forget, man. I mean, Tom Cruise was just ruling the whole time. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I
80s,
just picked a
90s.
random year, right? Like, and
Yeah.
and at that point, Tom Cruise was probably the #1 actor because of Top Gun, but Eddie Murphy was probably one of the higher paid actors. You had Bill Cosby was the #1 actor on television. Michael Jackson and Prince were just ripping up the fucking charts at that point. I mean,
That's when
Yeah,
he
it
was
was just-
still Prince, and before he changed his name, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, the only reason he
real
did-
fucking stars, man.
yeah,
they
the only
were.
reason Prince ever did that was just so he could renegotiate his contract anyway, because he found a loophole.
I didn't know that.
That was what it was.
Well, that and he was also going through some.
yeah.
some-
Well, religious shit and some other
some
things too.
problems,
Verbal
yeah.
probably knows it better than I do, obviously. So
Yeah, he was going through some shit, man. But no, you're right. He did change it for that reason. It was for business reasons.
Yeah, War of the Roses. God, I remember that. That was phenomenal with Michael
Great
Douglas.
Another Michael Douglas film.
Well, that was one I think Michael Douglas had tried to get made for years, if I remember right.
Wall Street. Come on. Oliver Stone, Wall Street, Charlie Sheen, Platoon. William
I've always kind of gotten on Oliver Stone's case because I feel like, his movies are too heavy-handed for me sometimes. But he had a few bangers out there.
You did JFK.
He's got a few levels to his movies, right? You've got his, like, you got to really be into his conspiracy shit, and or he's got his more mainstream films that you can get into, like Wall Street,
or
JFK.
Or you got the movies where it's like, okay, he's definitely jacking off to himself on this one, right?
Well, there's that now,
like Natural Born Killers. I mean, come on, man.
No, I hated Natural.
He got a little heavy-handed in some.
I hate his version, but like when you realize what it was supposed to be, like even Tarantino's possibly harder on it because now that I know what it was meant to be.
Well, he said Tarantino says he ripped him off. That Stone.
No, it's his script. It's Tarantino's script.
I know, but he says he changed it and ripped off stuff he had done earlier after he changed.
What happened was he took out, so what really bothered Tarantino mainly was that he changed the structure.
Mm-hmm.
And Tarantino never finished watching the movie. So like I feel like he would feel a little different if he finished watching the movie, but he quit watching it during the sitcom scene. Because it's like, okay, I see what kind of movie Quentin was trying to make. He was trying to make something more like True Romance, only like True Romance meets Bonnie and Clyde.
Right.
When Oliver Stone was trying to make a comment on the media.
Right.
So like Oliver Stone's version, he really amped up the Robert Downey Jr. character, really ramped up the media aspect of it. And I think Tarantino just got pissed because his original idea got lost. And that's where he turned around and did True Romance. And that's the movie he kind of wanted to make more so. But again, Tarantino, like I love him to death. He's my favorite. So
he is my favorite also. Yeah. But you remember Robert Downey Jr. in Natural Born Killers? I will never forget this. Where
dude, that whole sequence of him getting out of the prison.
Yeah, he's moving around. He's like, "We're gonna kill you," and he's like, "I've been on your side, mate." And he's like, "Fine, if you're gonna do it right." And he's like, "Hold up."
Yeah, it was so crazy. It was wild.
But Christian Slater, True Romance.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The beginning of James Gandolfini. He's like
the other side of that, though. I just don't think Tarantino understands is that Tarantino wasn't Tarantino yet when that movie was made, and I don't think it would have gotten the same attention if Tarantino had made that movie. I think it would have just been another, that's some indie guy making some weird fucking.
Well, he made Reservoir Dogs, didn't he, before that?
Yeah, but even that was still kind of low level. Like most people rediscovered Reservoir Dogs. Like that's the thing. Even True Romance was where people started kind of talking about him again because they really let him be a bit of the campaign for that. And then between that and then Pulp Fiction is what put him on the map.
Because
like everybody could smell that. Like as soon as you saw it, like this is going to change everything we saw before. And that's the thing is Natural Born Killers was kind of like my understanding and I haven't read the script or anything like that. I've only just heard his talks about it, but I guess it's out there now. You can read it. Cool. But like his was more of a Pulp Fiction-y kind of story in a sense that it was all over the place as far as the narrative. Like it ended with the beginning and all this other kind of stuff, I guess, and stuff like that. So like, yeah.
I see Razorburn has shared one of my top 10 films. I watch it at least a couple of months. Black Rain, Michael Douglas. Loved Black Rain. This is the Oyobon, the boss. Have you ever seen Black Rain?
Yes.
It's been years.
Come on, that is genius. I always wanted more. Hey, Psychotic Mongoose. Great to have you here.
That was one of those movies that was misadvertised, I think.
100%. Brilliant. One of Michael Douglas's best. The way they were in Tokyo. I love Tokyo. I've been haven't been there, dreamed about it since I was 15. I have 100 books on it. Watch enough videos. Anyway, we're going to talk about a couple more things and we're going to wrap up. What do you think about Squid Game? It looks like they're going to make Squid Game USA. The finale of season 3 ended with
Running Man.
I guess they had.
It's
all over the news. They had Kate Blanchett in the ending, and so I didn't know if anybody was a Squid Game fan. I only saw it for season 1 and part of season 2 and got tired and burned out. I was done with it. Then we had news on Iron Hole. It didn't break into any of the charts for streaming. Surprise?
Not at all.
Just straightforward.
Not at all. Look, man. there are people who are fighting tooth and nail to defend the show. They're trying to say it's a good show. They're trying to gaslight you. Guys, here's the thing. Time is precious, and take it from an old man here. Time is precious. That's 6 hours you'll never get back that you could be doing other shit. Anything else. You could be doing anything else. Don't do it watching Ironheart.
No, I 100% agree. I found the clip when you were talking about how crazy LA used to, or how good LA used to be. I also remember how kooky it was. I finally found a verbal.
Can someone explain to me the phenomenon of this personality type?
Oh, yeah, I posted that.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't find it.
Great. It seems that in my lifetime, a new type of enlightened individual has emerged.
By the way, this isn't news.
This is like if the hippie chicks met the granolis and had a baby with the new age people. This is what this is.
It's, you know what, Tom? It's not even that thoughtful. Thought out. It's basically these are just like chicks who want to go to Coachella. You know, like you know what I mean? Like every day of the week. These are Coachella chicks. These aren't even real hippies.
What do you call them? Just Coachella chicks?
They're called festival girls.
Festival girls.
Chances are, though, if you let her read your aura or whatever the fuck it's called, she will fuck you. Okay,
for sure. They definitely fuck on auras, and
I like Lord.
And if anybody knows where I can find anybody like this, I'm not saying I'm looking. I'm just saying, let me know.
Just go to LA.
The Hollywood Strip.
Someone who claims to be able to channel godlike entities.
Feel the energy of the aliens.
I'll be your god.
What'd you say?
What?
I said these chicks are a dime a dozen out here, man. I see these chicks just walking down the street, man, to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, but they were in Venice Beach when I went there in '92 when I lived there. They were everywhere. I don't know how it is today. You just said they're everywhere, but they were always in Venice.
You can keep the Sinead O'Connor chick, though. Keep her.
And aliens from other dimensions.
Yeah, keep the aliens. Keep the aliens. We don't want them.
Here are 3 signs that you might be an Arcturian starseed.
They appear to be and present themselves as being extremely spiritual or in touch with otherworldly phenomena.
Yes, we are here.
I can really fuck with their heads.
So that's either Sherm or cocaine. Like I can't figure out which one it is.
Look, I would have a field day fucking with these people. So like send them my way, please.
They are doing some wild drugs, man.
I will interview them. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my god. This is why Terry Gilliam wants to make a movie about God wiping out Earth. He's like
he knows what he's talking about, evidently.
Very happy to be here. Yes, indeed, dear one. Yes, we are here.
But what's really going on here? Are these people part of a new spiritual revolution? Or is it simply an identity where people display themselves on social media as spiritually enlightened?
I'm a starseed. I'm a starseed.
Can living like
I
these
will fuck
people
her up
suggest
real good.
actually
It's
make
called
your
views.
life?
It's called getting views. That's why you're doing this. It's not because of spirituality or.
I don't know what the hell it is.
See, there's 3 phases to this. First of all, you get into their shit, and then you act like you don't care no more, and then that's when you got them trapped.
Okay, then tell me what the hell this woman is. This is real. As we're gonna jump in now, I guess it is what Neurotic does on Sunday night. Watch what this woman does.
Some people
And you're
don't
gonna be
understand
and you're gonna be shocked. Don't read it. Watch.
Oh, I've seen this. Never mind.
Okay, I'm not reading. I'm just watching.
Get away from her! Hey! Get off of her! Hey! Stop it!
She thinks she's saving the world.
Damn it, get us a net! Is everybody just standing around?
How do you figure more ducks get made?
Just making it more scary.
So I call people like this people with no problems. Like they have no real problems in life.
Okay, she thinks the male duck is graping the female.
Yeah.
Like this is how they mate, lady. And weird is right. Makes Rachel Ziegler look normal. And she goes further. She goes out there to stop it.
Is that illegal?
Oh no, she didn't. And they're all like fucking getting away from her. They're like, "Get away from me, you crazy bitch! I'm just trying to get laid."
Just interfering with life. That's what.
Yeah, both ducks is trying to have a good time, and this crazy bitch comes into the water. I mean,
and she got a net. She convinced somebody and got a net.
She does not understand how nature works at all.
She has to follow his instructions.
So,
but this is typical like liberal woman behavior, man. Like they're just fucking insane.
Ducks are fucking. That's what they're supposed to do. How was that? Yeah, it's just nuts. And then you have this one. Did y'all hear about alligator Alcatraz?
I can keep seeing it out there. I don't know. I like
a lot of people.
I've never heard of this.
You haven't heard of alligator Alcatraz? Okay. Okay. Well, then this is for you. Okay. What basically it is that Trump with DeSantis set up a holding facility in the Glades in Florida, but it's in a place where there are a lot of alligators. It's for all. He's like, you can either self-deport, and the ones we have to hold, we've made a new place to hold them. So it's called Alligator Alcatraz. And a lot of liberals were going nuts. But so Trump, because they still don't understand that he's funny. Now, he's got a great sense of humor.
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? There's a lot of subsidies, Peter. But
come on.
Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? Not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter start.
Son of a... Hold on. It labeled it wrong. It was supposed to be about alligator Alcatraz. 1 second. Here it is. And all he did was talk about the other one. Mm-hmm. So the other thing that President Trump is going to do with DeSantis is they're going to use the National Guard to deputize them as immigration judges. Because they were saying if you want to actually deport all 20 million people that Biden let in, there aren't enough judges. And he doesn't have the time. It would take, I forgot what he said, 50 years to 80 years. Oh, thank you, Mizzard. Hold on. Alligator alley. It's just like when they called him when one of the NATO and EU leaders called him daddy last week. You heard that verbal?
That he did what?
When he was in NATO last week, when President Trump was in NATO, one of the NATO leaders, who is also a leader in the EU, called Trump daddy.
Wow.
And that's why you get a lot of daddy videos around with Trump. And then the White House put out a video saying, daddy's home. But the media went, again, ballistic. And they're like asking him, how could you, call him daddy?
I thought that's what they called Bella Ramsey.
Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. I knew it was here. So what happened is so now Alligator Alcatraz has been fully established. I'm sure some judge will try to do something stupid to shut it down. And here's Trump explaining it.
Snakes are fast, but snakes are fast, but alligators we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%. Okay? Not a good thing.
Because there's only one road into Alligator Alcatraz. And so he's like, there's only going to be a limited amount of guards. And if they want to escape, they're going to have to learn how to outrun alligators. And of course, people didn't like that. Went all bonzo over it. And you had a few people who were a little unhinged. This one lady in particular, which is odd. I've never seen a grandmother on X go ballistic. But everybody, you probably have to cover your ears. This woman just lets loose. And we'll be done here in a minute. We'll wrap up.
Well, you just couldn't call, could you, Magus? You just couldn't help out a few thousand or million people who are going to go hungry and are going to live in the fucking street. Thanks, Maga. Thanks a whole hell of a lot. Because most of the goddamn people live in your fucking states. Well, you
Never seen a grandmother go ballistic like that.
It's called
I
brainwashing by
have seen
CNN.
plenty of black grandmothers go crazy like that, but for different reasons.
Yeah, of course. At home, I've seen great grandmothers, but they do it in a more loving way. She was.
Well, they don't do it for views.
No, but this one was like, wow. And
now,
of course,
you fuck with a pie when you're not supposed to, and then
No.
you'll see some grandma rage. But
and of course, Verbal Riot's favorite rapper is back.
Oh Jesus, who?
Wow, it's time to get with that money. It's time to get with that paper. I said, blow, bling, blah, wow. Gotta run with the wow factor, pulling up. And then
I still refuse to believe this guy's real.
He does.
Blah, wow. Gotta run with the big blocks. Wow, yeah. I got a big block. Humming down that bad road, that square body. You know how it goes. I'm kicking it up. Yeah. Throwing it up.
All right, enough of him. All right, gentlemen.
God, that was worse than fucking what was that?
You remember
that movie Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah.
That was like worse than Jamie Kennedy, man. Like, what was that?
Oh my God, Jamie Kennedy! I completely forgot about Jamie Kennedy.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know
I'm
what
more
the fuck
talented
they're
than that
doing.
guy.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't. It's nuts. Today we didn't do a lot of politics. It was mainly Hollywood because there was a lot to cover. We will do that next Tuesday and next Wednesday when we come back. This is a great show. Thank you, everybody, for your support. I hope to see you this Sunday on Slayer Nation. It's going to be a birthday stream. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll have a few extra guests. And I hope you all have a happy July the 4th. Wherever you're at, have a great weekend. You're in America. God bless America. Everywhere else around the world, have a barbecue. Have a good time. What are you going to be doing today, Verbal, or the rest of the week?
Where
can people find you?
That's a good question. I'll be doing a VRL tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST. Just talking about different topics. Possibly we'll be on Drinker Show either tomorrow or Friday. We haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, I'm all around YouTube. So guys, follow me on X, follow me on Twitter. I mean YouTube, follow me on Rumble, just all the places.
Cool. Tom, what you got coming up? Tom?
Physical media show later on tonight on Greg's channel on Fanzine, and tomorrow Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Awesome. That is beautiful. Super chat came in. Mizzard for €2. It's great to listen to you guys. It's great that you're here. I love it that you enjoy it. Thank you, everybody, for your support. This has been wonderful. Nice way to kickstart the birthday week. All right. Remember, you have a beautiful week. And we're fighters with one unbreakable rule. We never bow down. We never bend the knee. Always forward. Love you.